Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to everyone. Before I start with my presentation session, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Nur Nabila binti Muhammad Zamrin and I am student from KPTU Senilai. For today topic is market failure. So let's begin with market. How will you define a market? In economics, the term of market will refer to the market for one commodities or a set of commodities. For example, a market for coffee, a market for rice, a market for TV, and etc. A market is also not restricted to one physical or geographical location. It covers a general wide area and the demand and supply force of the region. There must be a group of buyers and sellers of the commodity to constitute a market, and the relation between these sellers and buyers must be business relation. Both the seller and buyer must have access to knowledge about the market. There should be an awareness of the demand for product, consumer choice, preference, and etc. Next is, what is market failure? Market failure is the economic situation defined by an inefficient distribution of goods and service in the free market. In market failure, the individual incentive for rational behavior do not lead to rational outcome for the group. In other words, each individual make the correct decision for him or herself, but those prove to be the wrong decision for the group. Also, market failure occurs when there is an oversupply or undersupply. There are few causes of market failure. First is externalities, incomplete information, monopoly, public goods, merit goods, and demerit goods. So here is the example. First, externality. For example, air pollution, traffic, and obesity. Incomplete information, healthcare, food ingredient and second-hand car. Monopoly, water supply and road construction. Next, public goods, law, education and police. Example for merit good is museum, library, food and vegetable. The last one is demerit good, which is smoking, drug and alcohol. But today we will focus on the cause of market failure in incomplete information. Incomplete information or information failure is a type of market failure where individual or firm have a lack of information about economic decision. So there are two basic situations. First, lack of information. The demand price does not reflect all benefit of a good, or the supply price does not reflect all opportunity cost of production. Buyers might be willing to pay more or less for a good because they do not know the true benefit generated. Or seller might be willing to accept more or less for a good than the true opportunity cost of production. The second situation, have better information or unbalanced information. Sellers have better information about a good than buyers. Sellers own and control the good. They have direct contact with the good. If there are detects of problem, they are likely to know. Buyers have much less familiarity with a good, perhaps only knowing the information provided by the seller. In this case, buyers are likely to have a different demand price than the value of the good produce, a value based on more complete information. There are few examples of information failure associated with economic transaction, including the following cases. First, the job applicant who fail to reveal at a job interview that they do not have a particular skill for the job. The estate agent who exploit the fact that a potential buyer of property has very little knowledge about the property and any possible problem. Next, the cigarette manufacturer who does not inform smokers of the true health risk of smoking. And the last one is the buyer of a financial product who is unaware of the true level of risk as in the case of derivative product. When we have a problem, we need to have the solution. So here the solution of market failure. In order to eliminate market failure, several remedies can be implemented. They include use of legislation. One of the ways that government can manage market failure by implementing legislation that change behavior. For example, the government can impose high penalties to businesses that sell alcohol to underage children since the measure control unwanted behavior. The second solution is price mechanism. Price mechanisms are designed to change the behavior of both consumer and producer. For products that cause harm to consumer, the government can discourage the consumption by increasing the tax. For example, tax on cigarettes and alcohol are periodically increased to discourage their consumption and reduce their harmful effect on unrelated third parties. So that's all for today, and thank you everyone.